You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, everybody, into the Racers Lead Xfinity Series live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They are just getting started with qualifying here. Last week we saw a heck of a race. We have Ira Kohaus, Todd Slauson, and Andrew Teft finishing 1, 2, 3. Current point standing, Andrew Teft has the lead by 2 points over Daniel Honeycutt. Brandon Honeycutt back in third. Ira Kohaus in fourth. Todd Slauson in fifth. So that is where we start here at Las Vegas. As we're watching Ira Kohaus head around to complete his first lap here. Like he got a little bit loose coming off of the corner, so that's going to slow him down a ton here. John Dunaway just finished his first lap with a 30.10. Good enough for top of the board right now. Dennis Kane came back trying to get back towards the pole with a 30.24. Not quite fast enough. Ricky Rowland Jr. looking to get some more speed in this 27 Ford here. Gets a little loose coming out of the corner, headed into that wall, so that's going to stop his time. Ira Kohaus with a 30.79. John Dunaway battled back on his second lap with a 30.60. Brandon Honeycutt, first time by, was a 30.19. Good enough for second right at the moment. We'll see if he can get any more speed out of that number 13 Chevy as he's getting ready to come to the line to end his qualifying bid here. And his time did go down 30.15. Not quite fast enough, though, to take away the pole. Kinsley Smith coming down the straightaway on the backstretch here on his first lap. See what he can do as he's rolling through. First time by for Kinsley. Oh, looks like it didn't count it, huh? Brandon Sanfilippo in that number 12 Chevy coming to complete his outlap here. Going to get started on the fast ones. But Kinsley Smith might have hit the wall on that first lap as it was disallowed here, but he's coming to the start-finish line for lap number 2. See what he can do on this one, and he goes 30.10, good enough for P3 right now. Chris Blasi finished his first lap, or his qualifying laps, with a 30.08, so 0.02 of a second separate 1 and 2 at the moment. Brandon Sanfilippo 30.13. We'll see if he can go any faster as he comes through turn number 2, headed down the backstretch. See if he can keep that car gathered under him here. Supposed to cut through to the start-finish line. And he goes sub 30 with a 29.93. Good enough for pole position right now. Todd Slauson finished his first lap in that 22 Chevy with a 30.20. So we'll see if he can go any faster the second time by. Coming down the backstretch, he is carrying some speed here. As long as he can hold it through the exit of turn 4 here, he should have a good lap. Ducks down to the start-finish line. 30.14, so not too bad there for Todd. Lee Campbell coming to complete his, or just completed his outlap, about halfway through his first hot lap here. Slides up almost into that outside wall, comes down, cuts the quad oval here, and he will go with 30.11. Starting to lose it. And he lost it, so he will sit on the board at P5 right now. Andrew Teft looking to get the 98 Ford rolling through here. Coming out of turn 2, headed down the backstretch. If he can get some speed into that 98 machine. First time by 30.12, so 6th quickest at the moment. He's going to try and stay down on the white line as he comes through turn 4, slides up towards the wall. Going to cut the tri-oval here into the grass. And he goes 30.11, good enough for 5th at the moment. Looks like we got a couple other guys left to qualify. Aaron Marquis and Truth. No, looks like Truth might have tried. He might have got loose there. And Alex Teft. While they're doing that, let's go ahead and bring up The track information, we are at round number 4 from Las Vegas. I'm Mike Demoney up in the booth as always here for the Racers Elite Series. We got a 1.5 mile tri-oval. We'll definitely see some guys driving all over the track here. We've got 17 drivers who have signed on. We're still waiting for a couple to decide if they're going to take a qualifying lap here. If Alex Teff jumps on, and he does. So Alex is always one of the last guys out on track, but he seems to always find his way towards the front on the long runs here. So we'll see what he can do when he gets out on the track. I believe we have been to Vegas just a couple times here in the Wednesday Xfinity series, but I don't see any of the drivers here that have fared very well. Matthew Jerry had 2 top 10s here. Andrew Teff has a top 5. Spencer Hanneman as well, but don't see Spencer here. The only driver I'm seeing there is Andrew Teft. Alex Teft, the 30.44 for his first time by. Todd Slauson has a top 5 in his only attempt. Honeycutt's not here. Quite a few drivers not here at the moment. As Alex stops his second lap, a 30.13, good enough for P7 as he just made it through. We will jump on over to the race session here. We got Brandon Sanfilippo up on the pole. One of his, I think it's going to be his first pole here in the Racers Elite Xfinity Series. John Dunaway to his outside. Chris Blasi and Kinsley Smith are going to start in row 2. Row 3, Andrew Teft and Lee Campbell. Alex Teft and Todd Slauson make up row 4. Row 5, Brandon Honeycutt and Kirby Wainscott. Dennis Kane rolling off P11 with Ricky Rowland Jr. Then we've got Ronnie Martin and Edward Sexton in 13th and 14th. Ira Kohaas, Truth Hoke, and Aaron Markeith is going to start shotgun on the field tonight. So that is where they're going to start. Where they'll finish, we'll find out after 105 laps here at Vegas. While they're making their way around pacing here. Looks like it's not too bad here for Las Vegas tonight. 73-degree ambient air temperature. Humidity's 28%. Track temp 74. So definitely shouldn't play too big of a part in the race tonight. As the lights are out on the pace cars, we get set to make the long little backstretch here and get set to turn these drivers loose. Pace car is going to get set to make that left-hand turn down pit lane. Brandon Sanfilippo's gonna have the field under control here as they head through the tri-oval. Filippo leading them on down as they get to that Geico restart zone. He is down and away. Gets a pretty good jump there on Blasi and Dunaway, and he is already out to about a 0.3 of a second lead. Dunaway and Blasi almost side by side. Kinsley Smith back to fourth. Andrew Teft. And it looks like Ira Kojas is putting in work on the bottom side as he goes by a couple drivers pretty quick as they're fanned out 3 wide in the middle here. Alex Teft and Andrew Teft were almost side by side there. Lee Campbell back there as well. They're still battling as Sean Dunaway gets a run and takes advantage and takes the lead here as Blasi and San Filippo were battling for second now. San Filippo losing ground pretty quickly as Andrew Teft goes down to his inside, forces him 3 wide. San Filippo stuck in the middle between Kinsley Smith and Teft, but San Filippo is able to get down. Teft goes down to the inside one more time, going to try and pass Blasi. Andrew Teft, fastest man on the track right now. Brandon San Filippo looks like he's gathered the car back under him, and he is headed back towards the front here. Might have got a little too carried away there early in that run, made a little mistake, and now he is rebounding from where he started to fade back to as Kinsley Smith. Oh, looks like San Filippo is going down pit lane. Dunaway and Blasi now battling up towards the front. Go back here, we got Alex Teft and Todd Slauson almost side by side. Teft trying to get a run. You got Lee Campbell, Ronnie Martin, Dennis Kane, Ira Kojas, and Brandon Honeycutt were side by side. Aaron Marquis, Kirby Wainscott, Edward Sexton, Truth Hoke, Ricky Rowland Jr., and San Filippo is back out on track. He is about ready to get ran over by the field here as Blasi, Dunaway, Teft, and Smith are starting to slowly pull away from the back half of the field. Dunaway slides up in front of Teft, slides back down across Kinsley Smith's nose. Kinsley Smith got a little loose there as Dunaway came across. And now they are battling hot and heavy for P2 now. Kinsley Smith goes up the track, block, and Dunaway goes up to block. Smith pulls out and goes down to the inside. Side by side they go through 3 and 4 here. Smith is getting a run. Looks like he was looking to the inside there. Blasi just didn't quite have enough speed. Teft to the inside of Dunaway, and they are side by side for 3rd and 4th. Kinsley Smith slides up behind Chris Blasi here to take P2. As Teft and Dunaway were still battling, Teft fades back to 4th as he slides in behind Dunaway. Todd Slauson's able to close in now, and now the gap back to the rest of the field is only 0.4 of a second, as all this battling up front has allowed the drivers to gain on the first 5. Smith to the inside, side by side they go through turn number 4. As they come out of turn 4, Kinsley Smith takes the lead, slides up in front of Blasi. And Blasi pulls out and is going to try and battle back on the high side. Kinsley Smith still has advantage as they head through 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, Blasi's getting a little bit of a run here. They are side by side still. Kinsley Smith starts to pull away on corner entry, but on exit, Blasi's been able to make his way through as Blasi just makes a hard left-hand turn and goes through the grass, comes up on the track. Luckily, was able to slow it down before he pulled in front of the field there. Lee Campbell slammed on his brakes, Ronnie Martin as well. So that's going to put a gap on the field here. Kinsley Smith now has over a half-second lead on the field after Blasi took a detour through the infield there. Let's see maybe what happened here, if we can go back and take a look real quick. Like Blasi went to the high side, was going to try and cross Kinsley over. Was down to the inside and just, I don't know if he just didn't have control, but Slaussen's able to get by Teft, and Teft by Campbell. Looks like he tried to slow down as he was carrying too much speed into the corner. They are battling hot and heavy back in the middle of the pack. Dennis Kane, Ira Kohaas, Truth Hoke, Brandon Honeycutt, all on top of each other here. The 81 of Edward Sexton's looking for a place to go as he was trying to get behind Marquis and just couldn't get there. Got Truth Hoke in front. Brandon Honeycutt just to the outside of the 41 there as well. Looks like Brandon Sanfilippo had maybe a connection issue as he just went down pit lane. Didn't stop for anything, but like he was trying to just stay out of the way of all the drivers in the field here. Kinsley Smith, Sean Dunaway, Todd Slauson, Andrew Teft, Alex Teft, and then Chris Blasi. Dennis Kane still battling as Ronnie Martin gets into the wall. That Interstate Batteries machine is a little loose there as he got into the wall coming out of turn number 2. He's able to keep it straight. Lost quite a bit of time. Ira Kohaas is reeling him in here pretty fast. I'd imagine we're going to see Ira start to make a run towards the end of this tire run. He seems to be one of the drivers that can save tires almost anywhere. The Edward Sexton going to the inside of Aaron Marquis, trying to make his way towards the front here in that 81 machine. I want to thank everybody for joining in on YouTube. If there's somebody you want to see or want to talk about, just let me know and we can go there. Up front, though, Kinsley Smith is pulling away. Todd Slauson, Sean Dunaway battling pretty close here for second. Like Lee Campbell and Dennis Kane are going to get by Chris Blasi as he has another little hiccup there coming the turn entry on turn number 3. Dennis Kane trying to stay up here in P7. Everybody trying getting more single filed out as they run this race through here. Andrew Teft losing a little bit of speed there to Alex Teft as Andrew's back a little over half a second on the top 4 as they're battling side by side. John Dunaway, Todd Slauson, Andrew Teft looking to try and jump in the mix here. Slauson goes into the wall coming out of turn number 2. Dunaway take advantage, and so does Alex. Alex down on the bottom, looking to make his way up into P2 as he is to the inside of Dunaway. You can see just how much they're racing each other here. Alex Teff tried to stick his nose inside that left rear quarter of Dunaway. Dunaway slides up the track. We'll see if Alex is going to try and take advantage. Does it look like Slauson might have caught the wall just a little bit there? As we are 20 laps into 105 here from Las Vegas in the Racers Elite Xfinity Series. They do run 65% fuel, and they have 4 sets of tires in the pits, so pit stops usually come. They usually try and make about 2 pit stops per race, so we'll see if they're gonna get there as well. We'll see if they make it to 34, 35 laps before they make that first pit stop. Slauson and Dunaway are still battling pretty hot and heavy here for P2. Alex is just kind of sitting back trying to figure out which guy he wants to try and go by. Andrew Teff reeling him in as well, as he is now down to the inside of Slauson. Looks like Slauson's going to lose a couple positions after getting caught up high on the wall coming through 1 and 2. But Dunaway has a rear view mirror full of Alex Teff now, as Alex is starting to make a move on Dunaway once again. These two have been kind of battling the last 4 or 5 laps, but Alex just has not been able to get there. Todd Slauson into the outside wall. Andrew Teff almost into Slauson there as they both save it as they bounce off the wall. And Andrew Teff has got to be shaking his head once again as he's almost caught up in some calamity here. Slauson was able to keep it off the 98 and didn't wind up getting turned in front of him. But it seems like coming off of turn number 2 there, it's just going to be one of those turns that are going to bring out some cautions here, as everybody keeps getting a little bit loose as they work their way through these 105 laps. That's Sexton and Honeycutt and Hoke all battling back here as well. Aaron Marquise trying to close in. They're battling pretty much all over the track. Lee Campbell taking advantage as he goes up into P5. First time inside the top 5 all night for Lee. Dennis Kane looking to take advantage after Slauson hit that outside wall. And here they go, battling through the front stretch. Dennis Kane's going to slide up behind Slauson and pull down and put that number 4 forward right on that white line, try and get as much speed as he can. Yeah, that definitely was close there, Sarah. But Kinsley Smith is doing Smith things out here as he is over 2.5 seconds out, almost 3 from Sean Dunaway. Kinsley was having a heck of a night last night doing almost the same thing. And then pit stops basically wound up costing him the win. He was still able to bring home a top 3, but definitely not what he wanted after dominating most of the race. Sean Dunaway, Alex Teff are battling for 2nd and 3rd. Andrew Teff, P4 now. Lee Campbell, Todd Slauson, and Dennis Kane are battling for 5th place. And we got 4 and 5 cars here with Chris Blasi, Ronnie Martin, Ira Kohlhaas, Brandon Honeycutt all working their way through turn number 2. Still side by side. Then you got Ruth Hoke leading the other half of the field here with Aaron Marquis, Edward Sexton, Kirby Wainscott. Like Ricky Rowland went down pit lane, lap 25. Imagine we're going to see these guys start to try and decide when they're going to want to come down as everybody's kind of single filing out now in this second group. Ira Kohaus pulls down to the inside of Chris Blasi. He's going to try and take that position, and he will do just that. Blasi goes down to the inside, going to try and cross Ira up, but just doesn't quite have enough speed to make it happen there. You got Marquis and Sexton side by side. Still side by side, the 81 and the 41. 41 into the outside wall, bounces off, keeps it straight. Doesn't come down the track, but seen that happen time and time again here as they come out of turn number 2. They just get loose and slide up into that outside wall. We're working on lap 31 now. Kinsley Smith is out to over a 3-second lead. Dunaway has a almost a half-second lead over Alex Teft. Alex Teft has almost a second lead over brother Andrew. Dennis Kane is able to get by Lee Campbell and is now riding inside the top 5, up 6 spots. Biggest mover of the race is Dennis Kane. Todd Slauson coming down pit lane. See who else is going to get the itch to come down and get this stop going here. Dennis Kane to the inside of Andrew Teft. Dennis Kane running P4. Talked to Dennis earlier, and he said he was putting in some practice. He's going to come for that W, and he is doing just that, up 7 spots. Didn't have the qualifying effort that he probably thought he could have, but still running inside the top 5 now. Go back to the next little gaggle of cars here. We got Brandon Honeycutt, Ronnie Martin, Ira Kohaus, Chris Blasi, Truth Hoke, Edward Sexton, all in this little group here. Ira Kohaus bounces off. I believe that was Chris Blasi there as they got together. Ronnie Martin just in front of him, so everybody kind of bouncing off of each other on corner exit. These guys are making it 35 laps, so they should be able to pit any time now. They might try and stretch it a couple more laps if they're going to be close. That way they can make this just a 2-stop race. Because they should be able to go 35 each time. They should wind up at exactly 105. As Kinsley Smith comes in, Sean Dunaway in. But Alex Teft stays out. Andrew Teft in, Lee Campbell, Brandon Honeycutt. Basically everybody. Alex Teft stays out. Ira Kohaus, Truth Hoke, and Kirby Wainscott are the drivers that stayed out. All these other drivers here are going to come to pit lane, it looks like. Todd Slauson came down on lap 31, so pitted a few laps ago as he's trying to probably fix that damage and get moving here. Kinsley Smith came out just in front of him. So the battle for the race lead is going to be between Kinsley Smith and Todd Slauson. We'll see if Smith can get rolling here, if he can get more speed back into that 15 machine before Todd Slauson catches him. Kinsley Smith should be feeling pretty good at the moment as they go by Alex Teft. Alex Teft now back on track. Going to lose a few positions here, it looks like. Let's see if we can go ahead and turn it up a little bit, and let's see what these guys can, what the track sounds like here. We take the sights and sounds of Las Vegas Motor Speedway here. Be back in one moment here. That's a little sights and sounds here of the track. Go ahead and do a quick little rundown of the order so far. We've got Kinsley Smith, North Carolina boy, leading the race here by over 2.5 seconds. Came in, made his first pit stop, had over a 3-second lead. Todd Slauson up 6 spots, running P2 right now, as he's got that double deuce rolling after pitting a little bit early. He is going to have to try and stretch this second run out a little bit or hope for a caution, as he pitted on lap 31. Everybody else looks like pitted between 35 and 36 laps, so might have a little bit of work to do, does that 22 Chevy. Alex Teft from Hope Valley, Rhode Island, stayed out the longest, made it to lap 36, came down pit lane, and is currently running P3. Dennis Kane from Detroit, Michigan, in a number 4 Ford for Chicken Coop Racing here, as he is up 7 spots. Biggest mover of the race is not him, though, even though he's up 7 spots. Has that 4 Ford running inside the top 5. Andrew Teft from Hope Valley, Rhode Island, has that 98 machine right where it started. Ran up inside the top 5 for quite a while here. After this latest round of pit stops, he is running P5. Lee Campbell, same thing, is right where he started. Looking to try and improve his position here. Biggest mover on the track, though, is going to be Truth Hoke in that 59 Chevy. He's up 9 spots right now, running inside the top 10. P7 for Truth. Ira Kohaas running P8 right now, up 7 spots. 29 Chevy has been running pretty well. Had a little run-in on the track, little door ding, but looks like he's been able to get that fixed and is running fairly well here. Chris Blasi running P9, lost quite a few spots after catching the wall a couple times. He is down 6 spots, running 9th. Brandon Honeycutt down 1 position, running P10 right now, and has Aaron Marquise down to his inside, trying to take away P10 here. Marquis in the 41, up 6 spots, having a pretty good day here as he rolls through. Ricky Rowland Jr. came down pit lane on lap 29, trying to keep his position here. You see Sean Dunaway making his way around. Not sure exactly what happened to Sean there. Looked like he spent an extended period on pit lane. Looks like he might have came down twice. So maybe a speeding penalty there for the 01 machine. Kirby Wainscott running 13th from Kentucky. Brandon Sanfilippo started on the pole, had a little connection issue it looked like, and he is now 14th position. Edward Sexton back in 15th. Ronnie Martin 16th. And Sean Dunaway is going to round out the field. As I said, looks like he got caught speeding on pit lane there, so not something he wanted to see, as we are about halfway through the Racers Elite Xfinity Series race from Vegas. So Kinsley Smith able to make his pit stop, get those 4 fresh tires and full of fuel, and back out front he goes. Only lost the lead for a few laps there as everybody else made their way down pit lane. See if we can find some action here on the track. Looks like everybody pretty much got kind of spread out. Lee Campbell and Andrew Teft are within 3/10. Ira Kohaas and Truth Hoke are within 3.5 Blasey and Marquis are kind of close, but everybody's pretty well spread out here. NASCAR Xfinity fastest official race lap records was a 30.086 by Justin Allgaier. In 2022, Alsco Uniforms 300. And as of right now, nobody has done that as far as the race goes. Qualifying, Brandon Sanfilippo was the only one to go sub 30. So heck of a run there made by that 12 machine. Just had a little issue there and wound up back in the field. If we could maybe jump on board here and see how this 15 machine is making it around the track. You can see just how fast these laps go by. Jumped on board right about when he's crossed the start-finish line, and 31 seconds later, he's back around. So these laps take no time to complete here as these guys are rolling down the backstretch. Like Todd Slauson and Alex Teft might start to kind of heat up a battle here, as Teft is starting to close in. They are the closest ones on track at the moment. The only one that might be a little close as well is going to be like Lee Campbell and Andrew Teft. Campbell lost a little bit of ground there, but Alex Teft has not. Alex Teft is all over the rear bumper there of that 22 machine. See how close he's getting as they ride through the corner here. If Alex Teft is going to stay behind that Nationwide 22 and get, or if he's going to pull the Aflac 43 out to the inside. It looks like he's going to drive down to the inside. Lawson stays up high. Alex had to kind of let off the throttle just a little bit. You could hear him feather that throttle just enough to stay off the rear bumper there of the 22. As Lawson is battling pretty hard to stay here in P2. As now Slauson is beginning to pull back away. Looked like the 43 machine was closing in pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden, after he got on his rear bumper, he had to feather it a couple times to stay out of the back of the 22 and lost a little bit of momentum there. You see a little issue with the 22. We're working through lap number 59 here. Soon to be on to 60. About 45 laps left in the race. One more pit stop is going to be coming probably around lap 70. So we got about 10 laps until pits are going to be busy once again, trying to get that money stop as these guys are putting on a show here, trying to go flag to flag. Teft down to the inside, trying to get some momentum to get by this 22. Just can't quite do it. Slides up behind Slauson. Looks like we got a battle back here as well. Looks like Lee Campbell down to the inside as he's going to try and make a move here on Truth. Side by side, they go through turn 4. Truth gets a little more speed. Bounces off the wall, though. But Truth's able to keep it straight, so they will keep it rolling here. Hensley Smith has checked out. He is off to the races. Spotter saying hit your marks. He's got a 5.5 second lead almost. Slauson and Teft need to get this battle back here figured out or start working together to try and reel in Hensley Smith. Side by side they go, almost touching door to door through turn 1. They come out of turn 2. We'll see if Teft is going to be able to take the spot, and he will do just that, sliding up in front of Slauson. Slauson slides in behind. We'll see if Alex can reel in Hensley Smith here. It might all come down to pit strategy, but we'll see how this is going to shake out. You can't pit too early because you want to be sure you have enough to make it to the end of the race. Last lap, Teft and Kinsley Smith went almost identical lap times. We'll see what this lap is going to hold after Alex Teft was able to get by Slauson here. The gap is still 5 seconds or thereabouts. If we can switch over here to lap time history, and it looks like Kinsley Smith is still gaining time with every lap, but it might have just kind of almost equalized here after Teft was able to get by. Still lost thousandths of a second there. So Hensley Smith is trying to hold on here. Alex Teft trying to reel him in. If there's any more battles on track, Dennis Kane slowly closing in on Todd Slauson. Ruth Hoke trying to reel in Andrew Teft, and behind them, Ira Kohlhaas and Lee Campbell are starting to battle for P7. Campbell has 7th. Ira Kohlhaas is going to try and take it away as they come down the backstretch. Side by side, they go through turn 3 and 4. Campbell will have the momentum on corner exit, but we'll see if Ira Kohlhaas is able to get by, and they are still side by side. Todd Slauson, first one to pull the plug, and he comes down pit lane right now. Ira Kohlhaas, Lee Campbell still battling side by side. Truth Hoke and Andrew Teft battling pretty tough here for 4th and 5th. Truth Hoke up 12 spots now as he slides up in front of Andrew Teft. Lee Campbell, Ira Kohlhaas still side by side. Kohlhaas, Campbell. Neither one willing to give an inch here as they're still battling. This is almost 3 laps of them being just side by side rolling around the track. Todd Slauson in and out of pit lane. Ira Kohlhaas falls back just a little bit. Will fall in line behind Lee Campbell. Truth Hoke still starting to pull away from Andrew Teft. Dennis Kane. It's kind of starting to reel in Alex Teft. Like Andrew Teft might be coming in this time by. So everybody should be able to make it on fuel if they pit any time now. Ronnie Martin spending an extended time in pit lane. Edward Sexton in and out. Ricky Rowland in and out as well. Brandon Sanfilippo just coming in. John Dunaway still out on track. Todd Slauson. Like Chris Blasey, Lee Campbell, Andrew Teft all came in. Kinsley Smith, Alex Teft, Dennis Kane all come in this time. Truth Hoke stays out. So Truth is going to try and lead a lap here. Looks like he is coming in this time by. See if he's going to make it across the start-finish line before Kirby Wainscott does. Looks like he will do just that, so he'll get credit for leading a lap. Kirby Wainscott, last pit on lap 36 as he rolls through. Kinsley Smith made his money stop, and he is out and away. Todd Slauson pitted on lap 66, and he came out, looks like about almost 2 seconds back of Kinsley Smith after the round of pit stops here. See if Kirby's going to wind up stopping. Looks like he is going to come in this time by, which is effectively going to turn the race lead over or back over to Kinsley Smith here. Smith is over a 2-second lead over Todd Slauson. Still has maintained about a 5.5-second lead over Alex Teft. So the question will be, Will Todd Slauson have enough to make it to the end, or is he going to have to try and save a little bit of fuel to close up this gap here? But with that being said, we're going to step aside here, go picture in picture. You won't miss anything, and we'll be right back for the end of the Racers Elite Xfinity Series from Las Vegas here on Sim Racing Media. Welcome back here to the Racers Elite Xfinity Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Give a quick little rundown here as we are getting inside that 20 laps to go. Pretty close. Anyway, go ahead and Kinsley Smith running P1 right now. Has had the dominant car all night. He is out to over a 4-second lead over Todd Slauson. Slauson probably will have to make a pit stop. I don't know if any drivers have tried to force the issue here. I think the only driver that kind of did a little bit was Wayne Scott, and I think he only went a couple more laps. So we'll see if he's going to have enough. He's going to have to go almost 40 laps in order to make it to the end of the race. Alex Teft up 4 spots, trying to reel in Slauson and Kinsley Smith. Dennis Kane running P4. Andrew Teft P5. Lee Campbell P6. Ira Kohaas up to P7. Ruth Hoke P8. Brandon Honeycutt running P9, and the top 10 is going to be Aaron Marquis. Looks like he's going to have a little bit of battle there with Chris Blasi running P11. Brandon Sanfilippo's trying to get back inside the top 10. Had a little issue on the first part of the race. After starting on the pole, was dynamite quick in qualifying. Some would say a hot lap hero, but he didn't have the time to show it out here in the race as he was having a little bit of an issue with some tech. So he is running P12 right now. But Kinsley Smith has all but checked out here. See if maybe we can ride in the car here with the 43 Ford. As he is trying to reel in the 22 of Todd Slauson. Looked like the 43 might have got a little loose there coming into the corner. Let's see if maybe Todd Slauson's trying to save a little bit of fuel. It looks like he has slowed down quite a bit here. Well, he's still rolling through the corners pretty well here, so really doesn't look like he's trying to save fuel, but Alex Teft is definitely closing in. It is the closest battle, one of the closest battles on track. I guess there's another close battle here with Truth Hoke, Ira Kohlhaas, and Lee Campbell. These three guys are all within a half a second of each other. But Todd Slauson is going to have a rear view mirror, driver's side mirror full of Alex Teft as Teft goes to the inside, makes the pass, not even all the way through the corner before Alex Teft is able to make that pass slide up in front of Slauson. Now he has his sights set on the leader, who is Kinsley Smith, who is also out to over a 6.5 second lead right now. $18 laps to go here from Las Vegas. Alex Teft is going to have to do something in order to catch up. Looks like he was able to get a little bit more speed than Kinsley did on lap 88. We'll see what happens here on lap 89. If he's able to get some time. No, looks like he lost some as Kinsley Smith went 3 thousandths faster. Have a lap car here in between Slauson and Teft, and that is going to allow Dennis Kane to reel in Todd Slauson. Kane going to go down to the inside, try and make this pass here, but not quite enough speed. Goes, I was going to say, looking to go to the high side, but Slauson slides up. Dennis Kane goes back down, going to put that number 4 forward right on that white line, roll through 1 and 2, and see what he can do when they come out of the corner here. That's still stuck back there in P4. On board with Dennis Kane as he is trying to reel in Slauson to get on one of the podium positions here. Still have questions as to whether or not the 22 Chevy is going to be able to make it to the end of the race, pitting on lap 66. Going to be a little bit of a ask here. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that. Probably just had to take a couple laps to save fuel. We'll see if he would have done enough here. Or how much Dennis Kane is going to push him as Kane goes to the inside, gets that nose inside the left rear quarter. Going to try and side draft him down the backstretch. not quite able to do that, so he will have to slide back and regroup. He's only about 2/10 back at the moment. Truth Hoke, Ira Kohlhaas. Truth Hoke was able to get by Kohlhaas. And now Hoke is looking to reel in Lee Campbell. Andrew Teft about a second in front here, working his way around Ricky Rowland Jr. here as he is trying to at least keep some momentum here for that 98 Ford. Looks like Edward Sexton is just in front of him. Kinsley Smith is in front of Kirby Wayne Scott. Wayne Scott last pitted on lap 73. He should be able to make it to the end. First car a lap down is also Wayne Scott. Alex Teft is slowly reeling in the 15 Chevy of Kinsley Smith, but Kinsley has 7-second lead now over Alex Teft, so not much to worry about for either of these drivers. The biggest battle is going to be back here for P3, as Slauson and Kane are within a couple tenths of each other, but they're 2 seconds back of Alex Teft. 8 laps to go here from Las Vegas. Kinsley Smith just wants to make it all the way to the end here, as he has had the dominant car all night. Like he got a little bit loose there. Have to imagine the spotter telling him to just take it easy. You've got plenty of time. Just hit your marks, and you'll bring home the victory here. He's got Wayne Scott behind him, San Filippo in front of him. Kinsley Smith still rolling through, pulling away now as he's got almost a 7.5-second lead. Alex Teft has over a 2-second lead on Todd Slauson, but Slauson and Kane are battling it out here for P3. Handshake lap 5 in the air. Kane has got by Slauson. He's slowly pulling away. He's got 2/10 right now. Anybody else battling on track? Looks like we got Truth Hope trying to reel in Lee Campbell. Ira Kohlhaas also trying to make a run here to get a couple positions better. Right now, Truth Hope is the biggest mover on track. He's up 9 spots. Dennis Kane's up 8. See if he's going to be able to reel in Alex Teft, as now that gap is starting to slowly come down, as they are only 2 seconds back, under 2 seconds now. Dennis Kane to Alex Teft. 4 laps to go, 3 to go now as Kinsley Smith comes by the start-finish line. And Todd Slauson had to hit pit lane. Thought he was going to be a couple laps short. Turns out he's about 3. So he is going to come down get some fuel, and get back on track as quick as he can. No tires, none of that, just a splash and go and get rolling here. Kinsley Smith, Alex Teft, Dennis Kane. No real worries right now as we have popsicle sticks in the air. 2 to go. Closest battle, like I said, is going to be back here. Truth Hoke, Lee Campbell now side by side. Hoke on the inside, Campbell on the high side. Truth's going to get by on the bottom, but we'll see if Campbell's going to be able to fight back on the high line. As you see Todd Slauson coming out of pit lane, he is going to wind up coming out in P13. Truth Hoke trying to get by. White flag in the air. Kinsley Smith on his way to victory here from Las Vegas. Comes down the backstretch one more time. Kirby Wainscott hard into the wall. Took the white flag, so it wouldn't matter anyway, but he saved it. And Kinsley Smith is going to come out a winner at Las Vegas. Kinsley Smith in dominating fashion wins by 8 seconds. Alex Teft coming through turn 4, going to finish in P2. Dennis Kane up 8 spots, finishes P3. Andrew Teft P4. And Truth Hoke, biggest mover of the race, finishes inside the top 5, up 11 spots for that 59 Chevy. Lee Campbell 6th, Ira Kohaus 7th, Brandon Honeycutt 8th, Aaron Marquise 9th, and Chris Blasi finishes P10. Kinsley Smith gonna burn it down here in Vegas. We'll watch Kinsley burn it down, and we'll get set to bring up the drivers for the interviews here. Kinsley definitely having a good time here. All right, let's see if we can get third place up here in the booth. Bring up Dennis Kane. Hey, Dennis, Mike up in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes.
Hey, man, heck of a run there. Able to get up 8 spots, finish in P3 on the podium here.
Yeah, I hit the apron and won my second lap qualifying, so the qualifying effort wasn't there, so I knew I had some work to do. Really tough passing tonight, so working through the field was not easy.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like trying to make some passes were hard. As soon as anybody got any sort of momentum on the low side, that high line just kind of was able to keep it going off the corner. But you were able to look like pay a little bit of pit strategy to come out in the right area there. Anything you could have done a little bit different other than a better qualifying effort to improve your position here?
Yeah, I think better qualifying effort definitely would have helped. Just lost too much time there at the beginning trying to, make some passes, improve my position. So, it's too much ground to make up. Kinsley ran a great race. I mean, who knows if anyone would have caught him anyway. He seemed to be the best car on the long run. So, I mean, me and Alex make small gains on him, but as soon as we made him, it just seemed like he just took off from us.
Yeah, I definitely see him that way. Well, you got a P3 here on the podium. Anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Yep. Hey, thank you guys. Thank the league. Thank everyone for supporting us. Till tomorrow.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again, and I will talk to you later.
Cool. Thank you.
See if we can get Alex up here in the booth. Alex, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Well, that was a heck of a run there. Looked like you were able to qualify about mid-pack, make your way up towards the front, try and find something for Kinsley, but looked like just maybe pit strategy might have slowed you down a little bit there at towards the end, but heck of a run anyway.
Yeah, nah, just had to use up too much stuff getting through the field. And once Kensley got out to that big lead, no pressure on him. He didn't have to use up his stuff. So I think I had his same speed on the long run, but obviously when, you got a big lead like that, he can just manage it, and it's good on him. He ran a good race.
Yeah, definitely once you get out to that lead, especially here at Vegas, you just kind of work your way through a little bit of lap traffic and, sit back and relax. But heck of a race you guys put on. You guys go start to finish, flag to flag. So definitely played more of a pit strategy kind of race, depending on when you guys elected to get those fresh tires and fuel there. Heck of a run. How do you feel looking forward through the rest of the season?
I'm just hoping to keep up with the top fives and work my way up in the standings. I think I started in a hole in just about every series. So just been trying to get back on a hot streak and work my way back up.
Yeah, definitely look like you have the faster car, especially on the long runs, but sometimes we don't get those. But congrats on your P2 finish here. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
You guys over to Sim Racing Media for these broadcasts all the time. Thank the league, Racers Elite. Thank my friends and the viewers that watch all the time, and my girlfriend. And that's about it.
Definitely, Matt. Well, congrats once again, and I will talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, let's get Kinsley up in here. Kinsley, man, what a run you had tonight.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Well, it looked like you basically you were the class of the field here. You pretty much sit back and just kind of cruise around the second half of the race, man.
Yeah, a bit surprised. A lot of guys were real fast, and I guess when second and third on the first run were battling, I was able to just pull away and was able to save a little tire and keep it going.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like once you got out to that lead, there was nobody that was going to catch you. Only thing that could have thrown a wrench in was maybe a late race caution, but you were able to avoid that and win in dominating fashion tonight.
Yeah, teammates ran pretty good too, so I'm pretty happy about that, and hopefully we can gain some points in the team points system.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were doing pretty well in the team points too. Had a pretty good run last night. How do you feel looking forward to the rest of the season here?
Pretty confident. I know teammates really helped me out in Xfinity. It's probably my worst series, so having them really helps me out. I know we have Old Atlanta this week, so looking forward to that. That's usually pretty fun. And we got Mid Ohio after that, so road courses need a lot of practice on, and hopefully I can get enough practice
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, congrats on the win. Anybody you want to thank before we get you out of here tonight?
Of course, my wife and my daughter, being there for me and being my rock and letting me do this. Um, Andrew for putting on the league, and you guys at SRM for broadcasting it for us, and then my team, Driving Extreme Inc., just being there and giving pointers. We're able to rack our heads together and come out with some decent finishes.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again on your race win, and look forward to talking to you later in the season as well.
Thanks, man.
That will do it for the interviews here. Let's go ahead and take a quick rundown of the race results. Kinsley Smith, Alex Teft, Dennis Kane round out the top 3. You have Andrew Teft and Truth Hoke finishing in the top 5. Truth Hoke was the biggest mover of the race, up 11 spots. Lee Campbell, Ira Kohlhaas, Brandon Honeycutt, Aaron Marquise, Chris Blasi round out that top 10. Brandon Sanfilippo, after having to come down pit road early in the race after setting a lightning quick sub-30 qualifying time, finishes P11. Kirby Wainscott in 12th. Todd Slauson had to make that late race pit, winds up 13th. Sean Dunaway looked like he got caught speeding on pit lane, winds up P14. Ricky Rowland Jr., Edward Sexton, Ronnie Martin round out the field of 17 drivers that took part here tonight. With that being said, if you guys want some more beating and banging, you guys can flip on over and watch Moonshiners, as it's still going on here on Sim Racing Media. Or if you want to come back tomorrow night, you can watch the drivers of the Racers Elite Next Gen Series take on Martinsville. But from all the drivers of the Racers Elite Xfinity Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and I will see you next time.